It's late afternoon when he returns from the accident in Creed, and he's feeling distinctly out of sorts. Breakfast had been insufficient, and there was no place to pick up a snack between any of his far-flung meetings. His position as angel of death has its share of liabilities, too. More than insects die without plan. Yesterday, he had stroked a cat absent-mindedly and ended its life on the spot. Calling at a ranch one day for a meal, the rancher's wife had brushed his shoulder as she served him. Oh, what a bureaucratic mess that had been. Not to mention his genuine sorrow at a moment that had made a family's generosity turn tragic. Now, who this Larimer Street person is and what the encounter is like will determine his evening. Sometimes there are notes on the wall about long-term illnesses, exceptional circumstances, last-minute corrections. But there had been nothing this morning but name, age, time, and place. He has an hour to wait before the encounter, which has been set for the almost twilight of this icy and miserable day. He has appeared all over the state, sunny Granby, Creed, with the blue-purple snow reflecting back into the deep bowl of a liquid blue sky, Georgetown, where it had been snowing, Marino, where it had not yet begun to snow. Here, an acid fog is lowering. The coal the city burns isn't the hard, clean anthracite of eastern cities, but a local coke, a greasy, gritty product that people hawk up mornings or as they stand on corners in the cone made by street lamps fighting the fog. Against this expectoration of cigar juices, coal dust, and cheek wad, women baste long strips of cloth around the bottoms of their skirts, and on the warmer days, stay off the mud-melting roads entirely if they can.
When Ruben was done, and the pup was standing on the floor, wagging her tail, holding up her bandaged paw, Ruben washed his hands, and he stood in front of me. He squinted at my forehead, cleaned the wound with a cotton ball dipped in something, dabbed on a bit of glue from his finger to my forehead. I tried, successfully, I might add, to breathe quietly and to not let the tears slip. For suddenly I was feeling very alone, and feeling that buzzing, heavy terror of a space when you recognize that you are alone and that you are going to die alone. This was bad timing for such a moment to descend, but I managed under the weight of it all. Ruben said, "You cut your lip," to which I nodded. For a moment I thought that perhaps we both wanted him to kiss it, to apply another kind of healing. But such a thing is not allowed, of course, by the invisible forces that operate this world. These invisible forces have too much power, if you ask me. If only the world could be less influenced by them, then their potency would naturally decrease. Ruben put on a Band-Aid, and his fingers stayed an extra moment as he pushed down the plastic tabs. He said, "Mucho gusto. It's nice to meet you, Lily." That was the moment that became slowed down in my mind, because he knew my name, though I had not said it. And because I am not a person who is ever touched by another human, and so I could not help but like it a great deal. "El gusto es mío, Ruben," I whispered. His eyes lit up in surprise at my bit of offered Spanish. Then he nodded and directed me with a wave of his arm to the front of the clinic, where I paid my bill. Then I left.